What's good, peoples? Hunt here.
Hey, yeah, it's Kiki.
Well, it sounded like I said that wrong, didn't I? Again.
Hey y'all, I'm Kiki Hunter.
What's good, people? I'm Mark Hunter.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
the
the Hunt
Hunt Life
Life
Podcast.
Podcast.
We created this podcast to give a real view of life as millennials navigating the world.
Real life discussions about the struggles our generation go through from family, love, and everyday life.
What's good, peoples? Hunt here.
Hey, yeah, it's Kiki.
Well, it sounded like I said that wrong, didn't I? Again. What's good, peoples? Hunt here.
Hey, y'all, it's Kiki.
Oh, you didn't even say your part right, too, the first time. You just
What?
Kiki. Unless you did.
I did.
We'll see when we run it back. Well,
We starting
welcome,
this year.
as we should. Welcome to the Hunt Life Podcast. I am Hunt. Well, I said that already. I always say that twice though. Even when I say like welcome to the Hunt Life Podcast, I'm Hunt.
Okay.
And this is episode 39. Oh, I know what episode it is.
Oh, because I had no clue.
Nah, it's episode 39.
Welcome back, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you like, subscribe,
Share,
share,
leave a comment.
all that good stuff.
Uh-huh.
And if you have questions, feel free to send them to huntlifethepodcast@gmail.com.
No NBA star this week because once again, nobody did nothing good for the number 39.
I'm starting to think you're getting lazy with your job.
Oh, I'm not getting lazy. I literally looked it up, as you can see on my Google.
Oh my God.
NBA jersey, NFL jersey number 39. So I do my research, but ain't nobody did nothing. But besides that, this is episode 39. Know your work, know your value. I mean, whichever one you want to put it at.
Tomato.
Apples and oranges.
Different.
Oh, it's different. So tomato. But how was your New Year's? Better yet, how was your vision board workshop?
Here you go. It was good. It was really, really good. Yeah, I'm bad at like
Patting yourself on the back.
I am. I'm so bad at it. So I threw the shop and then went ghost online. Like people was like, I asked somebody
It's
the other day
called
was like,
decompressing.
they was like, "Where you been? Like, you had your event or what? Like, what's going on with it?" And I'm like,
Should have paid for it to
"They
see.
say you got to come on live and tell us what happened."
Nah,
And I'm
no, I
like,
don't. If you wanted to know about the event, you got to pay to come and see it.
I was like, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm decompressing. I'm still like, I feel like taking it in because it was really, really good. Like we ran over, but that's because of the questions and the help and stuff like that. But I'm that was an awesome way for me to end the year. So I'm really, really happy about that.
She's internationally known.
You stop.
You was.
Oh,
Literally, you
God.
had to figure out how to pull somebody in internationally
I
onto the
did.
Zoom. So
That took
that
me a
means
whole minute.
internationally known.
When you be trying to be prepared and then he just throw a curveball at you, you be like, oh, haha, you didn't prepare for this part, did you?
I'm finna take you international.
Anyways. But that was a good way to bring into the new year. Everything else has been real chill. I've been kind of decompressing, getting ready for the year because I got like a lot of things I want to do this year. But this year I think it's quality over quantity for me more so, and making sure I listen to my path, what God has for me. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not cluttering up my time with too much busy work, so I can really hear what I need to be doing.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Now, what about you? What you?
I've been chilling. Like, it's finna suck because this weather finna start kicking in, but
You had a good end to the year, though.
Yeah.
The end of the year, listen, y'all showed up and showed out for the end of the year. I know that's right.
Yeah, the end of the year I feels pretty good. But now since we finna start getting to our weather part of our year, because the beginning of the year is always like our weather.
Yeah.
It's when our winter kick in, our
Yeah.
fall, or whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
Our 2 weeks of winter.
Yeah.
But that's when like all our stuff start kicking in. So this is when it really do get a little bit slow for me, for real, for real.
Mhm.
But besides that, I mean, been chilling.
Yeah. How has y'all's New Year? How was y'all holidays? Catch us up on your holidays. How did y'all
Oh,
spend the holidays? How was Christmas? How was New Year's? What did y'all do? We got invited to go places. We said no. We stuck to that, and we were just,
hmm
it was what it was.
my Christmas sucked. You don't know why?
No, I don't.
Well, I'm finna tell y'all. My Christmas sucked because we only scored 2 points. Okay. I'm about to say, because I'm finna turn this cup around the other way. Y'all don't get no show up in this mug. We ain't showing nothing Texans right now. 2 points, bro. I can't believe it. On Netflix. I blame Beyonce, but
Don't do that. Okay,
I try not to
well,
blame her because she is like the only black representation everywhere. So that's the hard part, to try not to blame the black people. But
I
they,
blame Netflix.
I blame Beyonce. She got to deal with Netflix, so I blame both of them.
You know what?
Like,
Don't blame her for y'all poor
performance.
yeah. Y'all knew
Man,
going in, y'all didn't even start the week off right. Then y'all have like a Monday game or something. Y'all was playing in that. I,
Sunday.
I I watched that a little bit and they stressed me out for a little bit. I was like, nope, not doing instant
No, the
flashback.
Saturday game.
Yeah.
First of all, we had a Saturday football game, which was wild. But
Instant flashback to why I don't watch sports no more, baby. The rage be real and I ain't got time.
besides that, like everything else was cool though. The kids had a ball, so that's what it mainly about. So like yeah, but besides that, like everything been fine. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's been chill and slow grooving,
Yep.
preparing for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, let's get on into this topic. Know your worth.
Know your worth.
When I say know your worth, the
That's a song.
the definition of know your worth to me is like understanding your value, what you bring to the table,
Mm-hmm.
what you can deal with, what you don't want to deal with, the what's your capabilities, like the stuff that you can do, what you can't do. Like it goes into multiple different realms when it comes to like knowing your worth. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just like pretty much knowing you so you can be like a whole person when you go and find you a partner.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel like know your worth is. Because the reason why I wanted to do this topic, because regardless, I know on last for the wrap up episode, we tired of talking about relationship stuff. We tired of hearing about, not talking about it because we are
I'm like,
a marriage, but
wow.
we tired of hearing about the toxicness around relationships on social media.
I thought it was a song. Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is, I feel like a lot of people, they either know their worth
Mm-hmm.
or they overvaluing themselves.
It's a lot of overvalue.
So why
Mm-hmm.
not get into the topic of like knowing your worth and like actually being honest with your worth?
Yeah.
Because I feel like they know their worth, but they overvaluing themselves because they want to look good. It's like the Carfax.
Scamming.
Yeah,
They
scamming.
out here scamming.
hmm
Can't scam yourself, bro. You can't be trying
Some
to
people
scam
be
people
trying.
into thinking that you're worth more than what you actually are. And it's not and we all have a value system. Like, I mean, it is what
You're
it
supposed to
is.
overvalue yourself a little bit.
A little, but to you, like you are always going to feel the well, you supposed to anyways, or always supposed to feel the most about yourself. But it's also being able to
Being logical.
take in how the world views you to a certain extent. It's a balance because we're also talking like don't let the world judge you and don't let the world tell you your value. Yeah, all that is true, but
It's cap because we
to a
do
certain
judge
we do
and we do
judge.
put our value up on people.
Your job judge you when they give you your pay rate.
And they tell you what your value is.
Yeah, like so it's
Like,
no difference. So we do have to take that in consideration. It's a part of it. It's like I said, it's balancing what the world says it says about you and who you are, but also balancing who you are and what you bring to whatever it is that you're doing. but you have to be realistic about your flaws
Mm-hmm.
and be realistic about your strengths.
Because when
And
we
that's where
say,
you get your value from.
yeah,
Like, it's not a hard concept,
people make it
but
seem like it
it
is
is
hard.
hard. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get into the shits
Okay.
because that's what they're here for. They're
Oh.
here because they know we're gonna get into the shits.
Mm-hmm.
They know that we're gonna banter, but we're gonna get into the shits and we're gonna tell it like it really is.
My right hand injury. What that mean?
Because we finna start getting some bread around this.
I like that. Like, wait a minute.
I'm on both of y'all asses. I'm on men asses about their value, and I'm on women asses about their value. For the women one, it's easy. If you got multiple kids, your value, if you got multiple kids by multiple baby daddies, your value is not as high as you think it is. For dudes, if your ass is still at a certain age and you ain't got not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, your value is low. Like, I can break it down when it comes to dudes. When I say when you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, I'm saying for the dudes that's well past 35 years old and they ain't got a house, they ain't got a car, they still like bumming. You still bumming around in the world. You ain't never been in a real relationship or none of this, and then you want to sort of feel like that, like you, that dude. And it's like, are you really?
Yeah.
Because there's dudes that's younger than you that got way more stuff than you.
Yeah.
So your value is well under the thing. You getting slim pickings. And you have to. And it goes no different than a dude that they want to value, like as in for a woman, they want a strong black independent woman to a certain extent. But then they're not a strong black man that can handle a strong black woman.
Yeah.
So you overvalued the woman that you wanted. You wanted this, but then you scared. You letting this woman run all over you. Like,
But
what?
is that overvaluing or is it just
You underestimated, you devalued
yourself?
yourself.
Yeah, you underestimated it. Like you
You
bit too much off. Like
yeah,
you bit more than you
you
could
put too much
chew.
value into yourself. You assume that you can handle that type of woman.
Yeah.
So you put yourself in a position to get this type of person. So you show the value to get this type of person.
Yeah.
But once you get that type of person, you realize that you can't get her and she gonna leave your ass because your ass don't have nothing to bring to the table.
Yeah, she'll leave like you said, like she'll just run all over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all, but the thing about that is dudes don't like women to run all over them, but they'll go get a woman and she'll be running all over them.
Yeah.
That's no different than with the Gen X and stuff like that with the whole happy wife, happy life stuff. That's devaluing yourself as a man and letting a woman run all over you. Because that's what was going on in them days. Women were just running crazy. Behind that feminist movement, oh yeah, they was out here running rampant. They watching Oprah, Ricky Lake, they doing all this stuff, and they was wilding out here. They going to Freaknik, they going to Kappa, they doing everything. Like they was wilding, and dudes was just sitting there letting it happen.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna jump to women. But now women is upset because us millennials are not like our supposed to be fathers. We ain't having that shit. We understand our value and our work, and we're aware of the type of females that we want to be with and the ones we don't want to be with. Now we're watching all the women online talk all this and talk all that about what they is and what they ain't, and dudes ain't doing nothing but just sitting back taking notes.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling y'all, be quiet. Like we got
the only ones that's talking right now is the simps.
We have to learn to be quiet because they is watching. They watching. They taking notes. Baby, you bringing the serial killer to your door because he's just online getting all the information.
And the simps, y'all bringing the simps to you. Y'all bringing the panderers to you.
Yeah.
And y'all trying to figure out where all the good man is. The good man is on here watching you show your ass. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. It ain't even no pun intended. No, literally, they're watching y'all do this stuff. Yeah. And I know a lot of women is not, but because the ones that's not is so quiet, it's looking like that's what majority of women is doing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you got to come out of recluse and sit there and blast every single thing that you're doing online, because I mean, by you keeping your what's the word I'm looking for? The enigma of like the mystiqueness about the women that's like really not here doing that, like that's making your value look way better.
No, yeah, but I think you know what it is, and I can say that because like this past year being online, because I'm not an online person, yeah. For this whole business, I don't do online, and like having to be online, like kind of figure stuff out. People ain't got time to argue with these. I don't got time to argue with you, girl. Like you could just have. It's not that deep.
They want to
Like
argue because they
they
ain't got no
want to.
man.
They do. Like they want to argue about everything. Is an argument, and it's kind of like, girl, I'm not gonna sit on this app and like be typing back and forth. I don't got time for. Because some people that really make that day, and that's the sick part about it. So I can understand why females who are more reserved are not being quick to jump online. One, we ain't living online, honestly. The only reason I'm online is because I literally, this is my job, right? Like,
Yeah.
I have to be online to a certain extent. And trust me, I'm trying to find ways to where I don't. But that's like, we have a podcast. We got to be here, right? So
The only reason why I got a TikTok was because of the podcast.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, we don't care like to be like the women that are more reserved and are not doing these things, they don't care. They're barely online, they own it and then they not, and then they don't care, they live it in real life, right?
Yeah.
And then
That's the main problem. A lot of people
not
live
living,
online instead of real life.
and let that make them that makes their viewpoint of the world. And then like women right now are we living in a society where we overvaluing ourselves by a lot.
That's that Me
And
Too
you gotta
stuff.
come down because I don't know, it's this weird imbalance, right? It's like if you're not perfect, you ain't nothing. And it's like, nobody's perfect, but then people will say that nobody's perfect. But then the second you tell them like a flaw, they're like, okay, but I'm like, you'll tell a woman, well, you could talk about her appearance and she'll be like, I'm far from ugly. But
no, you're
why
not. You're
didn't
knocking on the
nobody?
door.
Okay.
Like you knocking directly on the door.
But that's not even it. Why it has to go to somebody called you ugly? I can say you not a 10 and
You
you
want me to
still
tell you
not
why?
be ugly.
I can tell you why.
Here you go. This
Want
is
me to tell
not
you
a
why?
basher episode.
Because they are ugly. They have ugly ways. So for the person that instantly say I'm not ugly, that's because they know that they have ugly ways. We're not saying that you're physically ugly or you ain't unattractive.
Yeah.
You just have unattractive ways. So you instantly want to throw that out there, and that's called self-projecting.
Yeah.
Hit dog holler.
I like that.
Like,
okay, all right.
That's what it is, but it goes for dudes too.
No, that's true.
Like, it's not like I ain't here to like bash women. I ain't here to bash men. I'm here to be on everybody's ass. Because like us as in the black people, the black race, black Americans, like we looking wild out here in these streets.
Yeah, we gotta bring it back. Is that's what I'm saying, like being realistic about who we are, what we want to represent us.
Because people value us because you want to tell you how you know they value us? Because they still in our identity. So we have value as in black Americans. We have a shit ton of value.
Yeah.
We have so much value that you could be from another country and say that you're black. You can be from anywhere and come over here and portray a little bit of blackness and they'll give you the whole entire world. Yeah. So we have value. But it's just we don't appreciate our own value and what we bring to the table until it's too many people talking down upon us, and then now we start to appreciate it. Yeah. But it's like we got to understand that and appreciate it off the muscle. Yeah. Too many people come to America and want to be us, meaning black people. So we have to hold ourselves to a certain standard. The same way that our grandparents and great parents held themselves to a certain standard, we got to hold ourselves to that standard too. Forget about what the Gen Zs did. I mean, the Gen Xs did. My fault, Gen Zs. Y'all ain't do nothing. Y'all just doing what was shown to y'all. So that's what makes it hard about like getting on their ass because they're just watching.
Yeah, but
they don't know.
Yeah, but
most Gen Zs are still babies. Like y'all are 25 and them they're under. They're still babies. They ain't did nothing in this world worth of importance. So they're still babies. True. So it's like they're
But
still
they also don't
absorbing
listen. They
everything
hard. Some of them are hard
because they
headed, but
never
I ain't
had to listen to
gonna.
nobody.
That's true.
Their parents wasn't in the house for them to listen to them.
That's probably true too.
So that's the reason we have those are the generation where nobody was paying attention to them.
Yeah.
That's why they're all online. They had nobody paying attention to them. Online taught them.
Yeah.
We still had somewhat of our parents' attention because we was that last like in between realms. Like
Mhm.
we seen the internet, but we still had to be outside all day.
Mhm.
Like we was in between. With them, it wasn't no outside for them. They was online all day. But our parents was like really, really at work at that time.
Yeah.
So they wasn't seen.
Good listen on Gen Z. Just side note.
Y'all just only getting that for right now because y'all be wilding. Any episode, that shit can flip. I can be on y'all ass too. That's one thing I'm doing this year. If you deserve for me to be on your ass, I'm gonna be on your ass. Like, I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings or anything like that. Accept my apologies now because you're not gonna get it at that time. I'm not one of them. If I say some wild stuff and like you catch me where it was like I was capping, I mean, tough luck. I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not one of them. I don't apologize because I said something stupid. I stand on it. But that's just the man in me. You're not gonna make me fold. Like dudes be out here folding, bro. Like folding like laundry. Like
Sinking with the ship.
like
Sinking with the
yeah.
ship.
Crash out. Like
See, you got to know that. You got to know that about yourself. Now, me, you better good luck proving that I said something stupid. Like that's it, because I'm very careful about my
yeah, I'm
words. I'm
careful about
very
what I say
careful
too.
about when I put I make sure I tell you if it's my opinion or if it's a fact. The fact is a fact, and I ain't arguing about it.
Yeah.
An opinion, I'm gonna tell you this is my opinion. This is how I view it. This is how I see it. This has been my experience. And so, I just again, but I'm always like that. Like even personally, I'm like that. So I'm like, these are also things that you have to know about yourself. Like, are you a crash out? Like, because some people don't want no crash out. Some people don't want to deal with a crash out. Some people don't want to be friends with a crash out. You have to know that when we are valuing, like, where does that scale on the scale? Like, how many points do we have to deduct?
Like I
Look
will
at it
crash
from
out, but I'm not a crash dummy.
yeah.
There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna send me on no dummy mission.
You don't be no crash.
I ain't no crash dummy. You know how us millennials like to say that boy was a crash dummy.
Yeah.
I ain't no crash dummy, but will I crash out? Yeah, I'll sink the ship.
Pushing me there, yeah.
Like, yeah, you push me over to the right way. Like, I'll sink everything. I don't care. We all finna start at ground zero. No pun intended. But like, that's one of my like unique values. Like, I'm gonna go to the end with it. Like, it is what it is. It's kind of true.
No, it is. I'm not arguing. I'm not. I didn't say a thing. Like, but it's also finding. I think we just need to bring real life back.
The last time she crashed out.
More. Why won't you let this go?
Because that's hilarious. I just remembered. And she was pissed off at me because I didn't say nothing. But it was like, bro, like this back when Santetta was playing on the basketball team. And the coach did something, and she didn't like that the way that the coach was coaching. So she was like getting in that nigga ass. But then she was mad at me because I didn't say nothing. But I'm like, bro, he didn't raise his voice. Like he didn't do none of that. Actually, the nigga was kind of scared. Like, and they was looking at me like, bro, you gonna get your wife? But I'm like, no, she have a valid point. I'm just looking at you like, bro, just make sure that you don't say nothing dumb, because like now I'm gonna have to crash out of here on this team. But like they was the same height and everything. Like Kiki was on his ass, bro, and she was pissed off at me for a couple of days because I ain't say nothing. But I'm like, bro, like he didn't do anything. Like I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying, but I'm also like, bro, like it's the coach. Like I'm letting him coach them the way that he want to coach them.
It wasn't working for me. that wasn't working for me.
So she crashed out on that situation, and she was
Cause
ready to sink the whole ship at that moment.
nah, cause he sat there and talking about, well, you can do it. I can actually
Yeah, that's what he
I can.
messed up when he said that you could do it. She literally she went in like,
Cause I used to play basketball. Don't play me. Like you don't know my background.
but
Like
then
don't
I
come for
proved
me.
that we could do it because what I won one of the playoff games.
Yeah.
So
Better shit
like,
better than you. Like yeah, that's in me. But now I listen, I know that about myself. I have real riders behind me because for me, I know listen, I got better as I
mm-hmm.
got older with crashing out. I've always been careful, but if I crash out, it's justified in my mind. But trust and believe, I have people behind me who's ready to step, regardless of the fact, right? They gonna tell me I'm wrong later. Like they gonna be on my ass later. Later they gonna be like, that was not even caused for, and you need to do better, right? Like, but it's usually justified. Now, do I take it too far? Yes. Now, do I start it? No, never start it. But I will finish. Like, I will finish it and it will be a scene.
Because I ain't crashed out in a long time.
It's been a
Yeah, it's been a while since I like sunk the shit. Like,
while. Yeah, I didn't have more, I think.
yeah, like, oh yeah, she the one that she the hothead these like for a while. But nah, we calm now, we cool. We like,
That don't happen all the time, but it be like little stuff. And it be too much going on anyhow for people to be out here. Just take this into 2025. You never know mentally what somebody else is going through. So leave people alone. Like sometimes it just be quiet. Just leave folks alone because maybe they don't have time for your shit today. Like maybe they just don't got time for that. So just
mm-hmm.
chill out. Like I do unto others as I want them to do unto me. So when you come bothering me about something that's like when I see you being extra and I'm like going out of my way to not be, clearly you want this. So I'ma just
Pause.
you today was the day. You caught me on the wrong day. That'd be the thing with me. Just don't catch me on the wrong day. That'd be the thing. Because I'm mature until I'm not. Like it's that's how they work.
True. I just felt like I had to put that out there because that was hilarious. We was talking about crashing out, and it was like that was the last big like crash out. But nah, but back to like, valuing yourself.
That's
Like,
our regular schedule
yeah,
program.
back to the regular schedule program. But like with the whole like value thing, it's like you have to know yourself
Mhm.
in order to put your best foot forward. You got to know yourself. Like,
What is your baggage? What are the things that you bring to the table? What are
like we have people that sit on lives and just argue all day long on some random stuff.
mhm.
And it's like they don't have no valid point. Like they just want to be heard. They just want to spew out their rhetoric without no merit behind it. And that'd be the crazy part, cause like I'm I'm weird. Let's say that. I'm weird. Not a weirdo, but I'm weird. Meaning that I don't really like to take advice from people that failed too much. So if you failed that marriage, I'm not gonna take your advice because you didn't win. Like, why would I take a failure's advice? Not saying that you're a failure, but your marriage was a failure. So I really don't care about anything that you have to say about marriage because you didn't win. You lost.
I think here's the thing. People it's a lot of what is it? I think they used to call it like pacifying back in the days. Like it's a lot of pacifying behavior. Like
I
you
say
are
pussyfooting
okay.
around.
It's too many people okay in the wrong things. Like it's because again, we live in a world where you could be whatever you want to be, right? And nobody really is going to challenge you on that. Like a girl can be a boy can be a girl, and everybody is like
You could be black.
okay. Like yeah, like you can switch your right. Like it's wild out here, right? So I think it's too much of that to where it is getting delulu. Especially on I can't speak for men. I don't know that. I keep saying it because I don't know where they at on the mental. I don't have a bunch of male friends like I used to have back in the days. So I really can't contest to that, right? But for women, it's getting real delulu. And the thing is that's dangerous about that, we're raising kids.
Mm-hmm.
We're raising kids who are watching us be delusional. If you out here and you know you don't eat right, and your doctor has told you that you are over your body mass and that you need to lose some weight, and you continue to say I'm a perfect 10, you're not. Like, I think you have to look at yourself and be like, I might be a solid 7. Like, I can look at myself and I can that because they can still be cute, they can still have a good job, they can have no kids, just because maybe that's the only thing that they have. That can still make them. That's what I'm saying. We live in a world so where either you're a 10 or you're a 0, and that's not real. That's delusional too. You can't tell somebody because they have a flaw that they're nothing. That's not realistic either. We all have flaws. That don't make you nothing. It just make you. It's a scale. It's a scaling system. Everything is a point off. Okay, you might be obese. That's a point off. You can't say you a 10, baby. You're not a 10. You might have kids. How many? Because that's a point for each kid. You got one. Okay, now
So, but
you
if it's a
obese.
point for each kid, it is a point for each baby father. You're
I
dropping your.
mean, it's a point for a kid and the baby for now. If it's the same daddy, you got to scale it different, right? I'm
Mhm.
sorry, y'all. But here's the you gotta scale it. Now you got different kids by different baby daddies. Listen, the points come off. Okay, it's getting hard now. You got to do more stuff to get it back up there a little bit, right? But it doesn't mean that you're not nothing. If you're a girl who is at a okay height level, an okay weight level, you have a job, right, that takes care you can take care of yourself. You're self-efficient, not independent. I'm trying not to use that word because I don't think women should be independent. I think we should be self-efficient. This is coming from a retired independent woman, okay? So I could say it. Self-efficiency is what we're looking for, and that's what we want. Independence means you will never depend on another human being for anything,
And
and
if
that is
you're
an
independent, then
unhealthy.
that means that you shouldn't be looking for no man.
Yeah, because you have to depend. We grew up with too much of our parents' trauma. Your mama did a whole lot of stuff that she ain't gonna tell you about, and now she telling you, don't you never put nothing into a man hand. You make sure you have your own money, your own house, your own stuff. And that just stuck in the back of all our minds to where we need to make sure we have our own because my mama said. And baby, your mama didn't tell you what she was doing to why she needed to be having her own stuff, okay? And she was already stashing stuff. Let's be serious. But I digress. We want to be self-efficient. But if she's self-efficient, if she don't have any kids, again, this is at a certain age. If you 40 and you got kids and you single, baby, you live the life, right? But your kids might be, it's still a grading system. But again, this is per age because your age also is part of your point system. It's part of
Mm-hmm.
your value as well. For your age, where are you? And it's not keeping up with the Duns or keeping up with people, but you want to keep up with. You see where your peers are,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you also want to be able to judge where you are based off the majority and the minority.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a scale. Everything is a scale. So you want to, like, I know younger, I'm a hothead. I ain't the lightest skin. Like, if you compare me to a very light, a lighter complected girl, I'm gonna fall on a lower scale because I'm more caramel colored. Okay. Does that mean I'm not attractive? No. Does that mean that she might be valued a little bit higher? Yes, and I'm aware of that. Because I grew up in the hood and most of the girls had to be thick and I'm skinny, I always been like a string bean. Like, I've always been small. I've always been super thin. Kids thicken me up a little bit, right? Just a little bit. I'm going from my environment because sometimes it's also your environment. What's your grades for that environment? my scale goes down. My value goes down to those people. But was there other people who valued that more? Yes. Outside of the hood, it was valued very much so. Right? Like it's flaws and things that we have that makes our greatest system. You have to find somebody that is on equal value. And if you do find somebody that you might, and I know women, I know, girl, he ain't no prize. I get it. However,
Who?
let me finish. He may have more
Oh, you
value
talking about
than
men
you.
in general? I'm about to
Yeah,
say.
like no, I'm saying like
I know you
he's
ain't talking about me.
no,
Like,
not you.
like shit.
He might have more value than you. You might meet a man, but that's what we want. We say we want a high value man. That means you want a man that is more valuable than you. We need to understand what we say when we say it. If you're saying I want a high value man, I want a man that can teach me something, that means that man has a value that you don't have. So he's more valuable than you at that point. That would make you less. Y'all both can't be on the same. But that typically is how that works. You're not on an equal playing field. So when you say that, you have to understand that you're willing to take that back role and say, okay, yeah, he is. But we want that, but then we want to devalue them because we feel like, well, you should be. No, because you could have went and got somebody that knew the exact same stuff that you knew, was on the same pay rate as you, was on the same look level as you, had a child just like you, and y'all roll with that. That way y'all can teach each other and y'all can go together, scale up or scale down, however you feel like you want to do that. But if you want somebody who has more of something than you, then they are valued more than you. If you have kids and you want a man that don't have no kids, he's more valuable because he has a greater pick of the litter. He can literally choose whomever he wants to be with. You, on the other hand, people are not checking for you as much. I ain't say it all, but as much as the man who has no kids and has a good job, good credit, a house, and a car. You talking about you in school with a kid, you struggling with a job, you barely got time, your mama in your business. Listen, your value's going down, baby.
And you got a crazy baby daddy.
Yeah, and you got a crazy baby daddy, baby. Listen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, be realistic. You might be a little bit overweight. You might not be overweight and you just a bad eater because it ain't always about your weight. You could just be eating fast food all the time. That high value men don't want that. I mean, most men don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Like a family man don't want to be eating out all the time. You can find you a man that can cook and you can't. But that's like understanding who you are and knowing your worth and knowing your value. So when you do go out into the world and you find friends and you find a spouse and you find a job, just like you go to your job and say, y'all need to pay me this amount of money because I'm worth this. I have the experience level. I've been in this field for 10 years. I've done this. That's your resume, baby. You have a real life resume.
Yep.
So the same way you'll walk into that job and run down your credentials of everything that you have for that job, you should be doing the same thing for your life. Like, I'm a woman who has a career, not a job. I'm a woman who don't have any kids. I'm a woman like who prays. I'm a woman who is self-efficient. I'm a woman who can help you balance your checkbook. I'm a woman who has resources. That's your resume, not because you have a high-paying job. That's not part of your credentials.
Because you cute.
Yo, just because I'm cute. That's
Don't
not,
bring nothing else to the table.
yeah, that's not that's not a part of it. So even for men, because I feel like men's value is looked at differently. Like y'all almost it's online because again, I don't have a lot of male friends like that no more.
And all
So
my male friends, except for one, is pretty much married. So
so
apparently
I
they have value.
no, I'm saying it's like it's not appreciated as much. As almost like y'all value is taken away because it's almost like y'all have to do the things. Like even for a man who takes on another woman's child, it's like, well, he should. Any man, and you hear certain men say that any man who's gonna date a woman with kids should know that's a package deal and you should take her kids. And it's kind of like, no, he doesn't have to. Is it noble?
Yeah.
Yes, and we should say that. Not he has to,
Yeah,
like
because
that's
he
his
don't have
job.
to.
He
That's
doesn't
not.
have to take her
No.
on because that child should have a father.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't have to. Is it the noble thing for a man to do? Yes. Is it a kind gesture? Yes. Does that make him a top tier man?
No.
Probably yes. I think so. Yeah. If he's willing to take on your child and he don't have no kids, and he's still willing to love you and them kids and not treat them kids no differently, that is the man that you would want. That's the man a lot of women want, but they're complaining because they can't have it. But even if you had it, you wouldn't appreciate it because you didn't value that man, because you're looking at it like he's supposed to do this. He doesn't have to take on. You should be valuing that man higher because he was willing to do that.
Yeah.
Not because y'all sitting here like, well, he has to. He don't have to. Yes, that makes him a top tier man because he was willing to take on something he did not have to. That wasn't his responsibility. He didn't lay down with you and make that child. He don't have to accept that child.
No, yeah, when you put it like that, true.
So that does make him a top tier man, like, because he's willing to do that. And he's not going to treat you no different. But women don't understand how that devalues the man by telling him he has to or he should, or I would never date a man that's going to sit here and say that to me. He has the right to say that to you because that's the fact.
Or he needs to make 6 figures. It's like, bro, are you aware that only, we'll say 5% of America actually makes 6 figures? Everybody's not making 6 figures. A bunch of people not making 6 figures. How many people's
making 6 figures?
Like, boy, a bunch of y'all was out here crying on Christmas. But like everybody is not making 6 figures. Nobody damn near making 6 figures. But you always hear, oh, I want a 6-figure dude and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, we have to be realistic. Mm-hmm. A lot of men is not making 6 figures. And when they are making this amount of money, that's because they're much older and they're further along in their career. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the criteria that a man has to have. Why is one of the top criteria for a man has to be money? If it's not money, then he's not valued as what he needs to be.
Because that's what our mama told us. That man's supposed to take care of you. He's supposed to be able to pay your bills. He's supposed to be able to do this and do that. But then that's what I'm saying. Why do we want to be independent if we want a man to do it all? It don't make sense. Like, unless I'm tripping. It just doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm like, just listen, know what you realistically bring to the not table. Even not to the table, but to anything. To your job, to your friendships. Because a lot of us are in relationships and friendships and family ships. Even with your family will devalue you more than anybody else. And I need us to start realizing it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. The value that your family has on to you is going to be less than your friends. It's going to be less than a stranger on the street. And then we also got to understand we devalue ourselves when we allow other people to devalue us because of their title to us.
Message.
Just because they are a sister, a brother, a cousin, a longtime friend, that does not give them the right. And you cannot expect a stranger to value you when you don't make the closest to you value you. Now you're asking for something that you won't receive from the people close to you. A stranger don't have to value you. They don't know you to value you. The people closest to you that's supposed to be loving and pouring into you are supposed to value you. So how can you expect your man to value you when your mama don't value you? How are you supposed to expect that you can stay in a long-term relationship with somebody when you let your family members treat you like trash? But then you hold the other person, you holding your spouse accountable for doing the same thing your family do to you. What's the difference? Because you clearly don't have value, so why I gotta value you, but they don't. Value don't sway depending on who's in your room. Your value is your value regardless of who's in the room. One thing about me and probably anybody who has come in contact with me, respect is not negotiable with me. If you're going to respect. I don't care how you feel about nothing. We could disagree, but you are always going to respect me. I don't care who you are, whether I know you or not, because I'm always going to give you respect. But I'm not going to take disrespect, and that's coming from nobody. My mama, my daddy, nobody. You're not going to sit in my face and disrespect me because I know my value, and if you can't value me like that, you don't deserve to be in my presence or my world. because I know my value, and it has taken me a long time to understand my value and who I am as a person and what I really do bring to people's lives. That's why you have to get to know your value and be realistic about that. And it ain't always just about your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I touched on appearance because I know a lot of people,
They put that as their value.
they put that as their value. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So that's not always just because I'm not attracted to you, don't mean I'm not attracted to somebody. I don't really care about being attracted to nobody else. I have a husband, so I don't really care what nobody else feel or think. Like, it doesn't matter. I love myself. My husband loves who I am. It don't matter. But a lot of people put all their value in their looks. And like you said, and not earlier, not into the person they are. Like, you feel like you ugly, most likely because you have an ugly personality. You ugly on the inside. You treat people badly. You're a leech. You want people to do more for you than you're willing to do for people. You're not a helper.
And that's not right.
Like, so no, a lot of stuff can be changed or fixed.
If we start knowing our value.
Yep, and sticking to that. Stop wavering on who you know you are. And if you see somebody trying to scam you into their value, you need to leave that right there. No deal.
True.
No, because what's gonna happen? The people who can no longer bully you into believing their delusional value don't have a choice but to be realistic or go sit down in a corner somewhere. Them the only two options.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to, like, will it back. Be realistic. Stop letting people waver who you are because they said what you should be doing, what you should. That don't matter. You are who you are.
Stand on business.
That part.
But with that being said, you got a rent? I don't have a rent, I don't think, because it's too early in the year.
Yeah, because I don't think nothing has happened.
And I rented already about them Texans.
I'm not ranting about this. I don't think. No, I don't think I have no rant. I think that was my rant. Like,
Yeah.
y'all gotta stop being like women specifically. And I talk to us so much because we're so broken. And I think I said this on the last episode. We gotta stop living through other people's trauma. I'm gonna keep saying it until somebody get it and type amen in the comments. All right, like, stop living through other people's trauma. It ain't it. Your granny, your mama, the feminist movement, what happened back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, slavery is not your problem.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with your mama and daddy is not your problem. What happened, like, it's just not your issue. It's just not. Like, we got to stop living through our parents' trauma and the things that we know, but we haven't experienced. If you haven't experienced it, it's not your story, baby. Point blank to the period. And what was that post you was looking at earlier talking about if it affects one, it affects. Oh, that stupid, that daggone, what happened?
Oh, with the 70,000 German men.
If it happened to one woman, it
yeah,
affects all of
German
us.
men.
No, it doesn't. You're an individual. It does not affect us all. Like, what happened to you? So, I ain't got nothing to do with me. I mind my business. That don't got nothing to do with me. My husband ain't no rapist. That's not what's happening here. Like, I don't know. Why would you marry somebody like I'm confused. So that is not like, stop this one for all and all for one. No.
That's how we getting people still in our culture.
Yeah, like, no, we not all for one and one for all, baby. I'm an individual and I will tell you no. Like, absolutely not. That's not what we gonna do. So find individuality in yourself, to value yourself. You don't get it just because. You don't get somebody to be out here just having kids and think somebody gonna swoop in and take care of you and your kids because your mama did that. That was a whole different time. They was wilding back in them. Like, I don't know how many times we gotta keep telling you. 80s and 90s was a wild time to be alive. Okay,
Yeah,
the stories that like, and I ain't listed. It was wild. I am a product of a stepfather. So I have a father. My daddy is my daddy, but it's not my biological father. So when I say my daddy was top tier because he's never made me feel different for not being his biological blood child, but that's the only dad I know. He's been in my life since I was like 6 months. So That's what I'm saying. Like, but it was respected more back then than it is now. We all are so accustomed to stepdaddy. We have normalized stepdaddy.
Yeah.
To where fathers don't matter. I heard somebody in one of them posts was like, a father, my husband does have to say, but he wasn't the biological father. I was like, no, he doesn't. The father that's involved has to say. Like we give dads a bad rap, but then we it's weird because then the stepfathers get shitted on too.
It's just
It's just
you're
kind of
getting
like
there.
I'm
It's getting close.
confused.
No, you know what it is. They hate black men. The media told them. The media said black men ain't shit. Barack Obama said black men ain't shit.
I don't even think it's black men. I think it's just men.
Men in general,
But black men,
but black men is top tier. They top tierly say that we ain't shit. And it's like they're going along with the media for so many people to say that they so woke. They so subconsciously spew out the same propaganda that the media say.
yeah.
And like that's the problem. We too busy listening to propaganda to where we can't even formulate our own opinion about anything. So
like,
opinions or thoughts, everything. Like we can't even do it for ourselves. We're not individuals no more.
Yeah.
Everybody want to just do the same thing.
Yeah.
If they see one person do it and they see it work, now here comes the million copycats.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with everything. We just need an individuality back.
Yeah. And like being able to understand, like that individuality also goes with your value. If you can't see yourself as an individual, do you really know your value? Can you really say what your value is? Can you really say the things about yourself that makes you a catch or makes you where you feel like you're that 10 outside of you maybe having a good job and you have good cooch and you cute? What else? Because everybody say they pray, but child, I ain't finna do that. I ain't even go there. I ain't even go there because do y'all? I'm just saying, it's wild out here. So just like be realistic. Like for real, like if you lie to yourself, it's just you wow. I don't I never have been that. So when I say that, I'm saying it from a place of I don't understand that mentality for real. Like I really don't. Because 10 toes down, even when I'm crashing out, I'm aware that I'm doing it. I'm like, it's nothing that the internet can tell me or somebody isn't. I'm aware. I'm aware of a lot of things. Some of the most things I'm probably not aware of are like random weird little habits that I have, right? Like, but it's more so I'm not aware that they're a habit, but I'm aware that I'm doing it.
So you're aware that you keep tapping on this disc?
More.
But with that being said, I'm Hunt.
I'm the tapper.
You a tapper. Tap, 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 tap. It didn't sound like tapper, trapper. I don't know what you said. Who are you? Tell the people who you are.
I'm Kiki.
This is the Hunt Life Podcast. Happy New Year's and blessed New Year's to you people.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget to like this episode,
Share
it out, and make sure you drop a
comment.
comment below. What makes you valuable? Let us know.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, have a great New Year and life.
Live dreams. Bye, y'all.
What's good, people? Before y'all leave, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Oh, and follow us at
Hunt Life the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button. You can also find me at I'm the Key on Instagram, and you can follow us on Hunt Life Co on Instagram and TikTok.
And you can find me on Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everywhere. Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everything and also Hunt Files. And don't forget, if you got any comments or any statements or anything that you want to leave us, you can always find us up on Instagram and Hunt Life, the podcast. Have a great day, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Hunt Life, live dreams.